point out that Valentine's Day has become multi-million-pound business. I can tell you that you're going to be in for a shock as you listen to a conversation I had earlier with the relationship expert Sharon and Greeting Card Association boss Sarah Abell about the whole business of how Brits are keeping Valentine's Day in the forefront of their minds.
Royal Mail compared Valentine's week last year compared to the week before and looked at the volume increases, and Romford in Essex was the winner.
Romford in Essex, a place which immediately springs to mind.
Does it?
As romantic. It's up there with Venice and Paris, isn't it?
I think it's got a new place on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a surprise. Where else is in the top 10 then?
Well, East London, Canterbury, and then there are a few up north. We've got Hull and Leeds.
Hull?
Yeah.
Again, another romantic spot, isn't it?
You wouldn't guess necessarily.
Well, then again, perhaps what it does show, and I'm now going to get myself burnt in effigy in Hull as well as Romford, is that if you live in a place that's not necessarily the most romantic in itself, you do more to make life romantic for your loved ones.
Yeah, maybe it hasn't got anything to do with the surroundings. It's just those romantic people in,
those lovely gooey soft centres.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soft centres. I like that.
What does this tell us about Hull man and Romford woman then, Sharon?
Well, I think just definitely very romantic and very expressive of their affections, and they like expressing their affection through greeting cards. I think that's the interesting thing. Maybe it's because we find ourselves a little bit more maybe they're a little bit more stiff upper lip, and they have to express it through another medium rather than saying I love you face to face and being all gushy face to face. Maybe it's they need a messenger. They need something to carry that message.
Yeah, let's be honest, the card's got to be better than the text, doesn't it?
Well, at least you can keep one.
Yeah, pin it up on the.
You can put it on your mantelpiece, and you can keep it there to remind you that person cares about you.
Yeah, I think actually I'm working through this. I can see now why perhaps places this far north in Cumbria aren't in that top 10, because obviously we live in very romantic surroundings. Anybody living in Flimby or Cleatormoor will automatically associate themselves with that remark.
But we're all becoming more romantic,
Is that right?
Yes, we're sending more Valentine's cards than ever in the UK. In fact, our most recent report says that over 1 million more Valentine's cards were sent than the previous year.
How much of a surprise is that, Sharon?
Well, I don't know. I think it's a very pleasant thing. We love sending cards in this country anyway. We send more cards per person than any other nation, with 31 on average each. And we've got a really deeply embedded culture of card sending, and we love to keep our cards as well. We keep them around us. We display our birthday cards for probably up to a month afterwards in our homes, and our Christmas cards. And Valentine's cards, it's just something very special, I think.
Is there such a thing as a non-schmaltzy Valentine's card?
Yes. In fact, it was funny. I talked to this chap this morning, and he'd been married 60 years, and he'd dated his wife for 3 years before they got married. He sent her a Valentine's card every year. And I said, well, what kind of card do you send her? And he said, well, I don't like the slushy ones, so I always look out for the ones that aren't too slushy. And I've sent her one every year. I thought that was lovely.
Dare I ask, Sharon, how many people actually make up their own verse? Can we put figures on that?
We can't put figures on it, but I know that we are a very poetic nation. In my capacity as running the Greeting Card Association, I do receive a lot of verses from verse writers, all wanting to become involved in the greeting card industry.
I particularly like that non-schmaltzy one, roses are red, violets are blue, this is nice, get in the van. I particularly like also the text from Ali on 81333 saying, for God's sake, Swindles, don't slag Scunthorpe off, not till we've brought 3 points home for Carlisle tonight. Good point, well made, Ali.